Happy holiday shopping season. I am attorney Tony Bell with Superheroes at Law. Today I'm going to unravel the tangled threads of the legal world, one topic at a time, by diving into the frenzied waters of Black Friday shopping. Buckle up. We're exploring the consumer protection laws that come into play during this high-stakes shopping season. So, Black Friday. Are you ready for it? It's a day that's marked by huge discounts and the kickoff to the holiday shopping season. But as you navigate through those flashy deals and the doorbuster sales, have you ever just stopped and wondered about the legal protections that are in place for you as the consumer? That's what we're unpacking here today. So first up, let's talk about false advertising. The law is clear. Retailers must be truthful in their advertising. This means that the claims about discounts and product quality must be accurate. No bait and switch tactics are allowed. That's where an advertised product is surprisingly unavailable, and then you're pressured into buying something different that you really didn't want in the first place. Now let's address deceptive pricing. Have you ever noticed how some items seem to have inflated prices just before Black Friday, only to be slashed to appear like a significant discount for Black Friday? This practice is a big no-no in the eyes of the law. Pricing should be transparent and not designed to deceive you as the consumer into thinking that you're getting a better deal than you actually are. Now, let's move on to the famous doorbuster deals. While they are a hallmark of Black Friday, they are also a hotbed for a potential legal issue or many legal issues. Retailers must ensure that these deals are available in reasonable quantities. If an ad promises you a discount on an item, a store can't just stock a couple of that item to lure the customers in. That's false advertising. So now let's say that you actually did snag a deal. What about returns? Return policies can be stricter on Black Friday deals. However, retailers are legally required to honor return policies that they advertise. If they say 30-day returns, no questions asked, they've got to stick to that, even for discounted items. And let's not forget about warranties. Just because an item is on sale doesn't mean that it's exempt from the usual warranties. Whether it's a manufacturer's warranty or a store warranty, your rights as a consumer don't diminish just because you bought it at a discount. So here's a quick takeaway. Always, always, always read the fine print. Keep your receipts, know the return policy and the warranty details, and lastly, if a deal seems too good to be true, it just might be. I'm attorney Tony Bell with Superheroes at Law. Have a happy holiday shopping season. Stay safe out there. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? All right, let's see. All right, there we go. All right, hello everybody. All right, this is attorney Tony Bell. So welcome to Superheroes Legal Hotline, and happy holiday season. This podcast is where we are going to untangle legal jargon and try to make the law accessible to everyone. So I'm attorney Tony Bell. Some of you already know me, and I'm going to be your guide through the legal labyrinth, trying to help you to understand how the law applies to your situations. And today specifically, we're discussing the holiday shopping season, because there's a lot of things that happen every holiday season, and there's a lot of pitfalls for both retailers as well as for shoppers. And so today I want to help with that. So first, I'm going to talk about a few things, and then I'll open it up for some questions, some question and answer uh, time where you can ask questions. If you are on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitter, you can type in your questions and we'll see them here. And then at the end of this session, we'll be able to answer some questions that are here live right now, as well as some that have been provided to us ahead of time. So let's go ahead and get started. But first, remember, while I am an attorney, this podcast provides general information, and this is not a substitute for legal advice. As you know, this podcast also does not create a attorney client relationship. I always encourage you to seek the advice of an attorney. This is for general informational purposes only. So let's get started. So, first, during the Christmas holiday shopping season, there are a lot of things that we've got going on. And usually, although we know that Christmas is not really about gifts and getting gifts and things like that, it's still a part of Christmas. It's a part of our shopping season, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. Usually, there's an involvement of purchasing some types of gifts, or even if you're just purchasing gifts for yourself, this still will apply. So, with that in mind, we want to talk about warranties and understanding warranties during the Christmas slash Hanukkah holiday shopping season, or whatever holiday it is that you are celebrating during this time. So, when you are hustling through those crowded stores, hopefully everybody survived Black Friday, right? But when you find yourself going through the maze of the aisles or scrolling up and down online looking for the perfect gift, warranties are usually the last thing that are on your mind, right? However, warranties shouldn't be the last thing on your mind because they are an important part of the shopping experience. Because what if something goes wrong? What if you buy the gift for your child and then it ends up not working? Have you ever experienced that? You buy this toy that they are so excited to get and they rip it open. And what happens? It doesn't work. What do you do then? Well, that's the reason why warranties are important. So what are warranties? Warranties are promises that are made by a manufacturer or a seller regarding the condition of a product. So there are two main types of warranties. There are express warranties, and an express warranty is where the warranty is explicitly stated. Maybe it's on the label or in an advertisement. And then there are implied warranties. And these are unwritten guidelines of what a product will do or what it's supposed to do. So during the holidays, some retailers offer extended warranties or special holiday promotions. When you go through the check stand sometimes, for example, I was at Home Depot this last week, and a lot of the items that I was buying, it doesn't let you continue to check out until you decide whether you want to purchase the extended warranty or not, right? Or at Walmart, they have the same thing. And so, these extended warranties, it's important to know, what does that warranty cover? Because it could only cover one little part of the toy or of the device or appliance, and not cover the rest. So it's important to know, what does this warranty cover? How long does this warranty last? And is this a manufacturer's warranty or a store warranty? And these details really do matter. And so those are things that usually you don't ask when you're in the hustle and bustle of holiday shopping, but trust me, if you uh, are concerned about the purchase you make, it working and working for an extended period of time, it's worth it just to ask these extra few questions and find out. So if you're buying gifts, think about the recipient. Will they even understand the warranty? Some people we give gifts to, they don't have a clue at all about warranty. So you need to be the one who takes the responsibility to find these things out. Can they access the warranty if it breaks? So if you give a gift to someone and say that it does break, sometimes I don't know if it's ever happened to you, but I've had people give things to me and I just felt bad that it didn't work. And so I'd never said anything. Uh, and also, I didn't know where to start with. I didn't know where they got it so that I could try to, see about a warranty. So if you're on the other side of that, when you're giving the gift, it's important to provide information to the person that you're giving the gift to. Here's a warranty and here's who it's through. It doesn't take away from the specialness of your gift. In fact, it enhances it. So just some extra considerations. And you could even attach the warranty to the gift just for convenience for your gift recipient. Now in the state of California, we have even more protection because there are some laws. It's called the Song Beverly Consumer Warranty Act. And this offers really strong protections for consumers, you as the buyer. If a product doesn't live up to its warranties, retailers and manufacturers are obligated to repair the product, replace it, or refund it. They're required to do that. But there are time limits. So if there's an issue, act quickly. And that's one of the big things I wanted to point out for this holiday season. And just, maybe check in with people after you give a gift. Hey, how's it working? Do you need if it breaks down or if there's anything that happens to it, just let me know. We've got a warranty. And people appreciate that, because it shows that you actually care about them enjoying the gift, whatever it is, right? So, in summary about warranties, don't let warranties be an afterthought. They can be a lifesaver if the perfect gift turns out to be a little less than perfect. Okay, so that's warranties. Now, let's talk about return policies. Have you ever walked into Walmart or some of these department stores the day after Christmas or a couple days after Christmas? What is something that you always see? You see the customer service counter line stretching forever and ever, right? With what returns, people are bringing back gifts. And sadly, some people are bringing back gifts that they just didn't like. I've talked to a lot of people who do that. But then also, they're bringing back gifts that may be the wrong size or didn't quite work out to be exactly what they thought it was going to be. So let's talk about the return policies. It's a crucial part of Christmas shopping. Have you ever bought something that you later on realize that it's not quite right? And this isn't only during Christmas, this is all year round. Well, usually you would just return the item, but during the holidays, with gifts involved, it gets a little trickier. So, first, uh, know that here in California, if a store has a return policy, they must display it clearly. There must be a clear display of the return policy. Now, this can vary widely from a strict no returns policy to very lenient ones. During the holidays, some stores will extend their return windows, giving you more time to return the not quite so right gifts. But here's another question. What about the final sale item gifts? or gifts without receipts. This is where it gets a little more complicated. Final sale items are usually non returnable, but it is always worth checking the policy with the store and finding out a little bit more because sometimes they will work with you. Now, to make returns smoother, we have to understand the store's return policy. Uh, Whatever their policy is, that store has to honor it. They cannot only accept returns for items that they want to accept returns for. If they have a policy for returns, they have to honor that policy. And then if they don't, you can report them to the California Department of Consumer Affairs. So, return policies are there to protect both the consumer and the retailer, the store. Uh, and if you know what the policies are, it can really save a lot of headaches for both you and the retailer, the stores. So keep that in mind. And so if you're a small business owner, keep in mind that you must display your return policy, whether it's no returns or if you have lenient ones. But small business owners, please listen up. Not only at Christmas, but all year round, you must display your return policy. It has to be displayed. So, and that's the law. So keep that in mind. Now, next, let's talk about disputes. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things go wrong. What if a product is defective? What if a retailer refuses a warranty or refuses a return? Uh, it's very frustrating, and there are steps that you can take. So, this is what we're going to talk about next. What do you do? What do you do if a retailer will not work with you and they're just being stubborn, right? And when I say work with you, I don't mean do whatever you want. I mean that they refuse to go by whatever their policies are. What do you do? First, try to resolve the issue with the retailer themselves. Take a deep breath. Uh, some of you are familiar with the movies, Medea movies. Don't go Medea on them. Stay calm and explain the problem. And a lot of times, if you approach it from a calm perspective, they'll be willing to work with you. They'll be willing to help you a lot of times. However, if that doesn't work, escalate it to the company's customer service department or, ask to speak with a manager politely. Even though we're frustrated and have a lot of emotional charge, take a deep breath. It'll help you. So if after on the store level you don't have any success, then consider reaching out to the Better Business Bureau and letting them know what happened, or the California Department of Consumer Affairs. And sometimes they will offer guidance, and sometimes they'll even mediate disputes for you. So that's kind of your step two. So, step one, talk to the retailer themselves. Try to get management involved if you're unsuccessful on the floor level or management at the store. But if the store will not cooperate, take it up to Better Business Bureau or the Department of Consumer Affairs. See if they can do something. As a last resort, absolutely last resort, you might want to think about legal action. Now, if this is a case involving small amounts, for example, a few $1,000s or less, small claims court can be an effective and a relatively quick option for you. If it's a larger dispute, seeking legal advice might be necessary. Remember, each case is unique, and sometimes a legal perspective is needed. So keep that in mind. So, in conclusion, you never have to feel powerless. If you're facing a shopping dispute, you are never powerless. There's always something that you can do to try to set things right. There are channels to resolve issues, just like in life. It's always best to try to approach the person first, calmly, and if that doesn't work, then see what the next step is. But the same thing applies with stores. Approach the store calmly. We're all people. The store owner is trying to make a living as well. And so many times they'll be willing to work with you if you approach things from a calm perspective, right? All right. So stay calm, stay informed, and exercise your rights as a consumer. And so that's what I wanted to share with you for holiday shopping. And what we're going to do now is we're going to address some questions that our listeners have sent in, as well as if there are any questions from those in the audience right now, we can take a look at those as well. So, what I'd like to do is first, uh, let's look at a question, if we could, from Sarah. Sarah asked, what are the legal obligations for retailers in California regarding product warranties during the holiday season? I'll read it again. What are the legal obligations for retailers in California regarding product warranties during the holiday season? And so that's a great question. So earlier, we discussed how in California, retailers are obligated to comply with the Song Beverly Consumer Act, Warranty Act, and that act ensures that products that are sold, they have this implied warranty of merchantability. Uh, Regardless of whether there's an express warranty or not, there's always an implied warranty. So no matter, even if you were buying something at a thrift store, there's still an implied warranty of merchantability. And so retailers must disclose warranty information, and consumers then have the right to a replacement or a refund for defective products. So keep that in mind. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Let's look at a question from Blanca. So Blanca has a question. Blanca asked, can retailers in California impose restocking fees on returns of holiday purchases? Can retailers in California impose a restocking fee on returns of holiday purchases? And I've had that happen before. I don't know about you, when you've tried to return something, uh, even online, they've there's sometimes they'll require a restocking fee, and I was kind of shocked about that. So that's a good question. Uh, so just so you know, California law does permit retailers to charge a restocking fee, and it kind of makes sense uh, to a certain extent. But the fees have to be reasonable, and they also have to be disclosed ahead of time. If there is a fee that is unconscionable, or it seems like it was kind of hidden, then it could be viewed legally as a deceptive type of uh, uh, retail practice, and there could be legal consequences involved with that. So, so for all of our small business owners that see this, if you are going to charge a restocking fee for any of your returns, make sure to put it in writing ahead of time and advise your customer ahead of time. You could have it print out on your receipt, or have it posted somewhere near the register, because it's important to disclose that so it doesn't look like you're just trying to charge extra for no reason, right? And if you're the consumer, uh, just know that it is legal. Stores can do that, and however, they have to disclose that. So that is the answer to that question. So let's move on. Let's see for some other questions. Let's see here. And um, just as a reminder, uh, if you have legal questions, and let's wait for that question if we could, please. Uh, if you have questions throughout the week, because we have this every Saturday, you can send questions to us, to us at I believe it's info@superheroesatlaw.com, and you see it scrolling across the bottom, info@superheroesatlaw.com. So that is where you can send your legal questions. And again, when we answer on this podcast, it's just general information. Every situation is different. So please understand that, like we've already answered a question from Sarah and from Blanca, and we've got one that's going to be coming up from Freddie, it looks like. Uh, just know that this is not direct legal advice for your individual uh, legal situation, because you really want to consult an attorney and have a chance for the attorney to hear all of the entire situation. But what we're doing is we're providing general legal information. And so just keep that in mind. Okay, so it looks like there is a question from Freddie. And Freddie asked, how does California law protect consumers against false advertising or deceptive marketing during the Christmas season? How does California law protect consumers against false advertising or deceptive marketing during the Christmas season? Good question. So there there are laws that are in place to help protect consumers not only during Christmas but all year round. Uh, False advertising is against the law, regardless. So if there was an instance of false advertising, then there can be legal remedies put in place to help make that right. Uh, One of the laws that there are in the state of California is the California Consumers Legal Remedies Act. Uh, and you can take legal action if there truly was uh, a, um, false advertising, or if you were misled by advertising claims. And so, on the opposite side, if you're a small business, make sure to be careful not to falsely advertise. Make sure that when you make an offer or you are advertising something, that you are being very forthright. Sometimes small business owners, I help a lot of small business owners also, and sometimes, you get desperate, right, as a small business owner, because you're just trying to make a living. And so sometimes, even during Black Friday or holiday seasons, there are certain deals that will be advertised, and then you only have maybe a couple, two or three of those items. That's bait and switch, and that's false advertising. So just make sure that everything that you are advertising is 100% true, that you're not misrepresenting your business, you're not misrepresenting the product, and you're being completely forthright if you're a small business owner. If you are the consumer and you feel that there's been false advertising, well, then there are legal actions that can be taken as a result of that. So uh, that hopefully that answers that question. Let's move on to Michael. Michael asked, are there specific regulations in California regarding gift card expiration dates and fees that retailers must adhere to? Gift cards. So during the Christmas season, especially, gift cards are so extremely popular because a lot of people, especially when you have a picky person that you are needing to give something to and they don't like everything, they complain about everything. A lot of times, the safest gift that you can give someone is a gift card, right? So, uh, those gift cards are supposed to last at least or be good for at least 5 years. Uh, there can be certain fees, but those fees are restricted. And so retailers should be aware and comply with the California Civil Code in relation to gift card regulations to avoid any kind of legal consequences. So they can, if you have a small business and you're offering gift cards, just go online and see what are the latest uh, regulations where you're at in regards to gift cards. But they cannot last for just a year or two. They need to last for at least 5 years. So very good. All right. So right now we'll do two more questions. And so we're what we'll do is we'll look at um, Randy. So Randy's question. So let's look at Randy's question. Okay. How does California law address issues of overcrowding and safety in retail stores during the holiday season? And this is a question that I addressed in one of my videos about Black Friday. When you go to the stores, there's an expectation of safety that you're going to be in a safe environment. This is all year round. Store owners have a very challenging task, especially when there are a lot of people who might be coming into the store. With a lot of shoppers come a lot of responsibility and a lot of money sometimes too, hopefully. But that's part of the risk and the reward. The more people that are coming into your store, if you are a small business owner, there are more possibilities of people getting hurt when they come into your store. That is why premise liability is so important. You have a responsibility as a small business owner to make sure that your premises are in good condition. Not only in good condition, but if you have a premise where there are maybe 3 or more parking spots, you are also responsible to comply with the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, for your business. That requires specific, uh, you know, uh, disabled parking. The retail counters have to be a certain height in order to allow accessibility for persons with disabilities. And so I want to encourage all of our small business owners. I know that you have 101 things to do as a small business owner, but remember, you have responsibilities under the Americans with Disabilities Act. And if you don't know what to do or how to ensure that your property is compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act, you can contact our office at the info at superheroeslaw.com or give us a call at 855 My Hero 2. That's 855 694 3762. And we'll provide you with information of how your business can uh, comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's so important. Many years ago, I used to be a commissioner in a city of on the ADA commission, helping to ensure that there is accessibility for persons with disabilities. And I served side by side with some of the most amazing people who were community advocates and people who were dedicating their lives to helping ensure that persons with disabilities were able to access buildings. Um, Specifically, we were dealing with government facilities, but at the same time, there's the entire private sector. And when you are not able to access a building or a facility, uh, it's not fair and it's illegal. It stops you from being able to access a store like everyone else. And so, on the flip side of that, if you are the store owner, you have the responsibility as a store owner to ensure the safety, number one, of your clients, your customers, and number two, the accessibility of your customers. And so I've been talking about the accessibility. Now let's talk about the safety because it goes hand in hand. You are responsible to make sure that any reasonable ob- uh, efforts can be made to ensure the safety. Now, what does that mean? If you know that it's the holiday shopping season and there is increased traffic, and sometimes there may be a lot of people crammed into a small area, then you have a responsibility to staff in such a way where you might have, people directing traffic. You might have, barriers in place. Things that can help guide people. Anything to help make it safer. You have that responsibility as a business owner. And that just comes with the territory of having a business. And so, in answering Randy's question, how does California law address the issues of overcrowding? Overcrowding is a safety issue. And when there are too many people in a store, it increases the uh, the likelihood that someone's going to get hurt. Have you ever been shopping and someone steps on your toes, because they were backed up into you or their shopping cart, bumped you, that hurts. Well, if there are reasonable things that you can do to ensure that that does not happen to your customers, then you have the responsibility to do that under premise liability law. And so keep that in mind, retailers and also customers. If you're going into a store and it's overcrowded and you get hurt, then there's possible legal implications. Possibly, the fire codes in each city only permit so many people in a certain space. That's part of the reason why. The more people that there are, the more likelihood is that someone's going to get hurt. So keep that in mind. Uh, so the last question that we're going to look at today is Charmaine. Charmaine had a really good question, and I like this question because it's something that we don't think about a lot. During the holiday shopping season, everybody is concerned with what? Shopping, getting their gifts. But I can tell you that during the shopping season, it's wonderful for people giving gifts. But sometimes, as a retailer or working in the service industry, that it's one of the most dreaded times of the year sometimes because people can be extremely unpleasant. Why? Because they're stressed. And when people are stressed, a lot of times they're not exactly happy people. And so um, that's why I want to encourage you as you're going shopping and you're buying your gifts for either yourself or everyone else, keep in mind, be extra nice and polite to your retail workers, please. These people are not getting paid a lot of money. And in exchange for their salaries, they are having to endure person after person after person after person after person after person, cranky and mad and stressed and in a rush, not just one or two people, but all day long, and if it weren't for them being there at the cash register, you wouldn't be able to purchase the gift that you're trying to purchase. Yes, you could go on Amazon, but even on Amazon, our Amazon workers experience the same thing. They are overworked. There's, they've got cranky people who are mad about everything all the time. And so I just want to encourage you as kind of a last thought on this last question that I am actually going to answer. But this reminds me, you know, show some kindness and some caring to your retail workers this holiday season. Let them know that you appreciate them because, again, deal with multitudes of cranky people all day long, every day during this holiday season. So keep that in mind. So the question that Charmaine asked here again, what steps should retailers in California take to ensure compliance with labor laws, especially during the increased demand of the holiday season? I don't know if you've ever worked retail before, but of course, it's like standing on your feet for 8 or more hours a day, usually, not taking any or hardly taking breaks. If you take a break during the holiday season, it's real quick a lot of times. And, because there's a line of people who are all mad that you're leaving the cash register. And so, a lot of times, especially in smaller businesses or mid-sized businesses, the managers there will short them on breaks regularly. Why? Because there's a long line of people who are all mad, right? And so as a result, they have to continue to stand on their feet for hours and hours and hours and deal with these long lines of people. Remember, in the state of California, there are labor laws. Those labor laws include wage and hour regulations depending on the city that you're in, because each city has its own law for wages. What is the minimum wage in that city? However, when there's overtime, employees need to be compensated for their overtime. First of all, you know, unless you have like a contract type of position, which retail is not, retailers are on the entry level are hourly positions. And so they should be compensated for their overtime. They should be provided a meal and a rest break. That's the California law. Again, for the majority of positions, there are some positions that California law specifies things a little bit differently, but retail is not one of them. Uh, Scheduling laws. There are scheduling laws that are in place. Uh, Make sure that whatever city that you're in, that you know what those laws are for that city. If not, there are legal issues that can be a result. So I want to encourage you, if you're in retail, first of all, thank you. And if you're not getting breaks, if you are being forced to stand and stand and stand, or even if you get hurt on the job, there are protections in place for you, no matter what city that you're in. And just know that you have a right as an employee in the state of California, as a retail employee, to certain things. And so the law in California is clear for retail employees. They deserve at least their wages. They deserve breaks and meal breaks, and that's all. So that's all the questions that we're going to answer today. Again, if you have any questions at all, whether it's about this or any other topic, feel free to email us those throughout the week. We're happy to try to get to them during our Superheroes Legal Hotline session every Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And, remember, we have covered a lot of different topics today about holiday shopping and retailers. And I try to mix it so that it helps small business owners as well as consumers, because, we're all just people, right? And, we need to work together and we need to support our small business owners. In fact, today is Small Business Saturday. So, and it's only the afternoon. So I encourage you, if you're able to, go out and support some small businesses in your local area when you're doing your holiday shopping. But keep in mind these things that I have brought up about product warranties and returns and employee rights and safety. Uh, there's a lot of different opportunities for legal issues to come up, but never fear, because that's why we're here. So, again, this has been the Superheroes Legal Hotline. I'm attorney Tony Bell with Superheroes at Law, and we're here for you. We wish you the happiest of holiday seasons. I invite you to also look below. If you're watching this on the website, below us, there are links to Facebook and Twitter and YouTube channel. Subscribe to those and get hooked up with us there, because there's a lot of goodies that you can get to help you to maneuver through life every single day. So don't forget to also subscribe if you're on YouTube, or join our Facebook if you get a chance to. And join us here again next Saturday at 1 p.m., where we are going to dive into some more fun and exciting issues, and also hopefully get some questions from you. So you take care, and thank you so much for being here. You stay safe, and know that at Superheroes at Law, we are here for you, we care about you, and we are fighting for you and your legal rights. Until next Saturday, take care. Bye bye.